Hello, humans. My life is a fucking train wreck. A lot has happened in the last few months, and I'm gonna fill you in on it, but first I'm gonna recap some relevant information. So, last May, I went to Australia and had osseointegration surgery, where they put a rod in my leg, and it pokes out the end and attaches to a prosthetic. This was the only way that I would be able to walk again. And the surgery went fine, but when I came home, I found some interesting things. Like, it was hard to get in contact with my surgeon, for example, and no one in my entire fucking country pretty much knew anything about it. So that was real great, especially because not even 3 months after the surgery, one of the parts came loose. It was just wiggling around in a way that was impossible to walk on. So I contacted my surgeon and was like, hey, what do I do? He told me to go to a mechanic, like for cars, and he Skyped us and walked the mechanic through how to fix it. Except later that day, it came loose again. And I contacted my surgeon and he didn't answer me. And this was like kind of an emergency, sort of. Like, I couldn't walk on it, I couldn't do my loading exercises, and without doing those things, my bone was going to weaken, and it was already super weak because I'd had a rod in there like a few years back when my leg broke. And if the bone weakened, then it would be more likely that it would break, and I wouldn't be able to walk ever again. So I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. My surgeon wasn't answering me. I decided to go back to the mechanic. I said, hey, can you just do what you did again? So we did that. It still didn't work, obviously. And the mechanic said, hey, I actually have some washers. If we put them underneath the broken part, maybe it would hold it in place long enough for you to be able to actually go somewhere and get help. So that was what we did. I called my surgeon. I was like, hey, can I do this? Is this okay to do? Is this gonna hurt me or the implant or anything like that? And he didn't answer me. So I went ahead and did it, and it was fine. I was able to walk on it for a while. It was supposed to be a temporary fix, but I couldn't find a prosthetist in my area who knew anything about osseointegration. The nearest one was 4 hours away, and I didn't have any transportation. So I just kept it like that. I was like, this works good enough. My health began to decline, but I attributed that to just my medication, because opioids can really fuck your body up. Fast forward to a few months ago. I was walking all the time, things were going really well, my health was still not great from the meds, but then I realized I had another problem. My leg, the knee of it wouldn't bend past a certain point, and the foot wouldn't rotate. And without that, I couldn't, sit down on the ground to farm. And farming was, what I've always wanted to do. I've always been, trying to get healthy enough to go back and do that. And without new parts, I wasn't going to be able to. And more than that, I couldn't get the boot off of my prosthetic foot. I don't know what happened there, it just won't come off. So I was walking around with one shoe on, one shoe off, and that was throwing off my balance, probably permanently messing up my back. I was like, fuck it, I need to see a prosthetist, as soon as possible to get these parts fixed. So I talked it over with my mom. She rented a car, she had to take off work, but we did end up getting there. And things seemed to go really well at the appointment. We did 2 things. We planned how to get new parts so I could work, and we also planned for him to talk to my surgeon and figure out how to fix the part that was loose. And I left that appointment feeling really hopeful, but that hope quickly evaporated as we ran into even more problems. First of all, my insurance denied, and is still denying even to this day, the request for a new foot and a new knee. And that's super not great. They keep saying that they need more information, but the information they're asking for we've already given to them in great detail multiple times, and it's just this game of phone tag between me, my insurance, and my prosthetist. It's really not going great. Obviously, they're only being difficult so they don't have to pay for the parts, which is super immoral. I am in the process of appealing and getting a case manager, but that's going to take time, and in the meantime, I can't work, and my back is getting more and more messed up from being off balance. But then there's something even worse, and that is my prosthetist was never able to get in contact with my surgeon in Australia to fix the loose part. He keeps trying to call him, he never answers. I keep emailing my surgeon saying, hey, can you talk to my prosthetist? And we're just not getting anywhere. And then we found out that actually they're not replacing the part, even though it was still under warranty, because putting the washers on voided the warranty. And if you'll remember, I did ask permission from my surgeon to put the washers on, and he never answered me. So that's kind of messed up that they're just saying, yeah, you voided the warranty by doing this, when I literally asked for their permission. Right now, I'm kind of under the impression that I've been dropped as a patient from Australia. I don't know if that's because of the washer situation, or if it's just my surgeon is really busy and he has problems staying in contact with everyone. I just don't know. I don't know if in a real emergency, if I would be able to get help from them. And that's fucking terrifying. Luckily for me, an American that I didn't know very well offered to replace the part for free, and I am so extremely grateful that he offered to do that, because without his help, I would have been very, very fucked. So I went back to my prosthetist last Friday, we swapped out the parts, now nothing's loose anymore, I can walk on it fine, and we were able to take the washers off. At this point, it becomes relevant that for several months I've been noticing a strange metallic dust coming off the washers and getting into my open wound. Obviously, that doesn't seem safe, but since I couldn't walk without the washers there, I just ignored it. And I mentioned it to my prosthetist and he said, oh, you probably have aluminum poisoning. Suddenly, all of my health issues from, the past year made a lot more sense. I thought they were from meds, but maybe they're from this. There's nausea, it's so bad that I can't really eat. I feel really dizzy all of the time. I almost pass out sometimes. Sometimes my arms go numb. I have really bad brain fog. I can't focus or remember things. It's just all around not a great time. So yeah, having aluminum poisoning for almost a year, the washers were on there for 10 months, is just fucking ridiculous. When I asked my surgeon, hey, is it safe to put these on here? He, first of all, didn't say, no, that will void the warranty, but he also didn't say, no, that will poison you. What the fuck? He didn't say any of that. He should have. That's just straight up medical negligence. So yesterday, I went to the ER to find out exactly how poisoned I am, because I still don't know for sure if those things are from that, or if they're actually from my medication, and honestly, there's not a great way to tell. They're testing my blood for aluminum levels, and hopefully I'll get that test back within the week, but who knows if that'll even be conclusive. So yeah, this has been a huge fucking mess. What have I learned from all this? Nothing I didn't already know on some level, but some things bear repeating. I know that sometimes you have a surgery in a foreign country, and afterwards you might not be able to get follow-up care from it. I know that surgeons sometimes drop the ball in really severe ways. I know that insurance companies will do anything within their power to avoid paying for shit that you need. I know that ableism never sleeps, and the negligence and apathy in the medical community is so severe and so extreme that it can ruin you. This kills people. I see it all the time in the disabled community. Just because we're disabled, they assume that it's okay not to help us, even though that's their job. They assume that our lives don't have value and we're nothing more than burdens because our needs are different from the needs of other people, and that if we died, the world would be a better place because there would be less disabled people in it. And still people say that ableism doesn't exist. Open your eyes. What they're doing to us isn't fair, it isn't moral. We deserve to have our needs met just as much as anybody else. The medical system, not just in America, but in the world, is truly fucked. We need to change it. I hope this has given you something to think on. Like I said earlier, I can't work because of my prosthetic situation, so I am making amputee videos for devotees again. If you're interested in that, please check out my devotee Twitter at amputee_ash_. I'll also put a link to that in the description. Have a good week. Peace.